Look,
Yeah.
and big bromance, big love fest on the stage today.
Well, we're having fun. We actually
good.
lost track of time, almost missed it. Just about got going late. Dan would have given us a heck and we would have been in trouble. So we're going to get going live here on LinkedIn and get rolling.
Let's get this party started, man.
Let's get it going. We're going to go live on LinkedIn. Let the video play.
I think, we're just going to start calling this the Dan Bigger Connection Show. I think that's the new name of our Friday program. Is the Dan Bigger
for sure
show. I think everybody on this program is from Dan Bigger. So
yeah, welcome once again to the Dan Bigger Connection Show, or otherwise known as the Manufacturing Ecommerce Success. I'm one of your co-hosts, Damon Pistolka. I have my friend, my brother from another mother, Curt Anderson, down there with me. We are practicing today. With us today, I'm going to let Curt take it over from there. I was just excited. We actually got lost in conversation, almost missed the start time.
This is so good. We got a huge, Chris. That's right. We got a huge bromance going on. So, guys, happy Friday. Welcome to November already, November 5th. What an absolute honor, privilege. Let's just plow right into this, guys. John Buglino from New Jersey is on the program today. John, I've been looking forward to this for months, dude. Welcome to the show, brother.
No, thank you guys both for having me.
Oh, this is awesome. So again, as we, our shout out to our friend Dan Bigger. Let's give a warm welcome. We got Chris Harrington, Dan, Christian, Ingor. Thank you for joining us, Ingor. You are wonderful. Dear friend Val, my sister. We've got Don up in Alaska, Alex, and of course, man, and my sister from another mister. I don't know. Can you say that? We've got Gail up in Canada, right? So Gail, welcome. Happy Friday. John, let's just jump right in. So you're a Jersey guy. I'm just going to take a wild stab. Maybe Italian Catholic. I'm not sure. Am I close on that?
Absolutely.
Right?
Yep.
So,
nailed both.
A good Italian Catholic boy. When you grow up in New Jersey, where do you go to college?
Seton Hall.
Seton Hall. Go Pirates, right? So, hey, we've got John Buglino from New Jersey, Seton Hall, go Pirates. You know who went to Seton Hall? You know, who's the most famous alumni other than John? Who's the most famous alumni from Seton Hall? Do we know who this is, John? Dick Vitale. Did Dick Vitale graduate from Seton Hall?
When I went to Seton Hall, they were awful at basketball. So
they were bad.
They were bad.
They've been a little rough. But hey, so I figure, I have Dick Vitale's hair. So, he always says awesome baby. So a little awesome baby today for John. So John, let's just dig into a little bit of your background. So after you graduate from Seton Hall, you've chosen a whole path in marketing, fits your personality perfectly. Let's go back to young John. We were talking about your 5 and 8 year old just knocking a ball out of the park in baseball. Talk about what's led you to this career path in marketing.
No, it was definitely earned my way up. So I graduated Seton Hall. Started in the finance area, working for a bank. Doing, marketing assistant, and really didn't know anything, just wide eyed, like I can do whatever you want me to do. Right. Started doing graphic design, promotional items, creative, was traveling to bank branches and looking at positioning and, making sure the bank branches look great.
Yep.
The products and services were front and center when you're going to, cash your checks and things like that. And just been building and growing as I went into different roles. Now I'm blessed to be director of a marketing team and a department, and they put their whole trust in the lowly assistant from, a couple of years ago. But you take everything and you build and you grow. You take the relationships, the people, the skills, the learnings, and you just keep moving them forward. And I still go back to things that I learned when I was assistant, from the CMO and things like that. We still keep in contact. That's the other big thing, is that I don't burn any bridges. At least I don't think I do. Yeah. And I have these long-standing relationships. I have a bench of people. I've been helping them with new roles. I've been coaching them. I've been training. I've just been trying to influence as much as I can. So yeah, it's been a journey where I am now. I'm blessed where I am now. This is fantastic. The role I'm in with Optessa, and no complaints.
Awesome. And I'll tell you, it's a big testament to you. You're in banking. If you look on your LinkedIn profile, right during the Great Recession, man, the world was collapsing and you survived and did an amazing job. And you've had a number of different transitions, different roles, from marketing automation, like you said, director of marketing at Upessa. talk about your background. What led you to, why marketing, and for everybody on here that knows you, most of us know you through the Twitter chat crowd. We've collaborated. Whenever you talk to John, it's just, man, dude, you just exude just a high level integrity, just such a positive, you're a positive force. Talk a little bit like what brought you here? How do you bring that level of integrity into your work every day?
Yeah, I think like we mentioned, like pre-show, like I trust first. And I make sure that people know that I trust them from the get-go. Like you don't earn trust with me. Like you get it, you lose it with me, do something and you lose it. Right. And that's, like on my teams and just coming into the business, I've just been blessed to be around those types of people. Some have burned bridges, things like that. But at the same time, you have to be trusting. You have to put your faith in people. I come into like Optessa, a company that's been around for 20 years and, they're taking a leap with me as their marketing director. They put their trust in me. So I put my trust back to them, and it's just been growing and nurturing that. Like I said, building teams in the past, the same thing. I tell people up front, like I'm a very trusting person. You can call that a weakness. I think it's a strength because right from the get-go, you're basically on my good side from the start. Like you don't have to earn respect from me. You get it. You have to lose it. And it could be tough to lose as well. Like I said, I'm very open, transparent as you get from me being, an Italian Catholic guy, very loud. I talk with my hands, so yeah, I think that's just what it is. Like, that's how I operate day in, day out, even in my role, like I'm very open and transparent with what's going on with the company, the business, how I feel about the opportunities. So yeah, that's just how I go about it.
Man, I honestly, God, I don't know if I've ever heard that line before. That is absolutely phenomenal. You get trust, you get respect, you have to lose it. And so with that being said, our dear friend Don in Alaska says, John, cool. Could I borrow $100,000? So you got to connect with Don. He is absolutely what a breath of fresh air he is.
Check out his videos. They're so funny.
But what I absolutely love, so just, and the thing is, some testaments that have been shared about you, John, best manager I've had to date. You can't ask for a better leader than John. More importantly than his work ethic, his ability to inspire others, establish a level of trust that is unmatched. I mean, that is just so powerful. One more to say, his presence has made the life of everyone in the sales department a bit easier is a gross understatement. John is a pillar to our company's success. Dude, drop the mic, man. That, again, like where does, family, mentors, coaches, how did, did it come naturally? How have you gained such incredible leadership skills and just this magnetic personality that's led you to this part in your career?
Yeah, I definitely think it's got to be my family, and it's got to be, the support system I have outside the office is just unmatched, from my parents, and now my wife, and even the little kids, support me in what I'm doing.
Right.
And it's just also just the relationships that I've built over the years. Like I said, I still keep in contact with all my former bosses and other people I've worked with, the individuals you just stated. We keep in contact all the time. On holidays, we reach out when they need stuff and things. So it's just something that's, you just constantly have to work at it. It's not something you could just, shy away from. You have to keep nurturing those relationships and growing and building and moving forward.
Right. Absolutely. And that was, and again, our first meeting this past year, just right off the bat, you have a natural ability of making folks feel like you've known them forever, and that you've carried that right into your marketing, into your networking. And it's just, you're such a go-giver. That's why you and Dan Bigger get along so well. So let's segue a little bit. So, banking, you have had a phenomenal career, led you up to Upessa. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So for folks that aren't familiar with Upessa, let's dig in. Now, my understanding, so we're here to talk about e-commerce. Our dear friend, Chris Harrington, when someone engages with Chris Harrington, their business is just blowing up with explosive growth. Do they need to call our dear friend, John? What's going on here with Optessa?
Yeah, definitely. So Optessa, we're in the advanced planning and scheduling space. So we are a software provider to global manufacturers, and we look to help streamline your operations and pinpoint the what, where, and when to make your goods. So there's no one better than us with this software and these capabilities. A lot of others in the space think they can do it better than we can, but they can't. Just like the title of this segment, like true optimization, we're the only ones that can say it. I'm not, we could beat our chest and say we offer it, but we're the only ones that hold the patent. Everyone else is just playing for second place at this point.
Nice.
Dollars to dollars, we've gone up against the largest in the space, and we beat them out. Our solution has been top over every single one of them. And when I say that the solution has been top, there's no manual intervention needed after our software works with your production materials or your production environment. There's nothing more you can do. There's absolutely nothing. Talk about mic drop. There's absolutely nothing more that could be done. You can put 100 bodies against it. You're never going to find a better solution than we're able to turn out. And we pride ourselves on that. We guarantee it. We say it on our website. We say it in our marketing. Mathematically guaranteed. There's no company that can say it other than we can. Everyone else is, like I said, they're playing for second place at this point. And we've been doing it for over 20 years. We've been doing it over 20 years. We've had clients for that long. We've had other clients for 15 plus years. And the other piece is, in those 20 years, our leadership is there. The people, I'm with the company not even 2 years. I'm the least tenured by like 5 years. Everyone's like, oh, you're the new guy. I'm like, wow. And it's like, how long have you been? Let's celebrate your anniversary. They're like, 18 years. I'm like, 18 years. Oh, okay. No problem. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Co-founders. Yeah. Okay. All the co-founders are still okay. So there's that stability goes with it. And we still operate as as that small business, that startup business. I mean, we're 58 people, you get white glove service. But based on our clients, you wouldn't know it at that point.
Yeah. That's powerful.
Well, and one of the things you're in a software company that has that tenure. Now, I mean, just people that understand the software industry would go, what?
Right.
Because it doesn't happen like that much.
Right.
Mm-hmm. There's something special about it.
And you guys have a tagline: solve the unsolvable problem. So how did Optessa come on your radar? How did this career path take a turn for you?
Yeah. So when I was at my previous job, there was a couple of change in leadership and change in where the company was going and company was headed, and just wasn't for me. It took me away from my core support, my family. And, that's a no-go for me. I'm sorry. Again, I have utmost respect to, my previous coworkers and things like that. And the previous company is still doing really well. I think I set them up for success, but that's okay. But it just, the opportunity presented itself when I came into Optessa, and, when I interviewed for the role, they mentioned to me, they're like, we haven't had a stable or a marketing person in quite some time. And I said, okay, that's no problem. I'm always, you always on an interview, you always want to like yes them to death and say, oh, I can do that. No problem. I can scale that wall. No big deal. But then when I got into the role, I was like, oh, wow, this is like 5 years old. Like everything was like 5 years old, and not a lot was documented. Sales process, website was old. Digital footprint wasn't there. Social media, forget it. Watch Twitter, things like that. So it's kind of like, where do you start? Right. So I just started at the beginning. Like, you got to lay your foundation. You got to lay the foundation down. I have great support within the organization. My counterpart, product marketing manager, Alex Shapoval, instrumental in my success with the company and the role. And we've just been blocking and tackling for almost the last 2 years. And it's been phenomenal. It's been absolutely
nice.
Phenomenal. That is awesome. And what I wanted to get into, like, in our conversations, how, you are extremely intentional on networking. And it was almost like perfect timing, because I just looked on the screen. Damon, did you see who popped into the room? We have a celebrity in the room right now. Sam Gupta came into the room.
Sam's here. All right.
Sam Gupta, are you kidding me? Sam is here. You know what, John? And this is a testament to you, because Sam only comes for you, dude. For like big time. It's like big time. When we have a celebrity on a stage, celebrity shows up in the room. But you're extremely intentional with your networking, and just share, like, say folks that are like, networking doesn't come as naturally to them as it does for you. Talk about, how you've plowed into different networks. I know you're super supportive with us. Damon and I can't express our thanks and gratitude to you. The Manufacturing Twitter group every Thursday. Talk about, like, how are you intentional with your marketing, with your networking, and how that's helped build your career?
Yeah, I think it all started. I think you and I, Curt, we had a conversation about, and you turned me on to the, USA Manufacturing Hour. And then, as soon as I joined that for a couple of weeks, I got in and saw Kirsten and Dan and stuff like that. And I just started being intentional. literally ask for phone calls for pretty much everyone. You know, I've spoken to Dan, I've spoken to Kirsten. I speak to Kirsten a lot.
Yep.
You know, we connect and do different things. And I think I've spoken to almost every single person in the USA Manufacturing Hour to some capacity. You have to be intentional. You have to ask questions. You have to be curious. Right. And my goal is to just really understand, right? Like, I can talk to Dan. I know Dan and I will never do business together for right now. You know, it's just, but I think Dan's doing a phenomenal job on LinkedIn. I think Dan's doing a phenomenal job with his company. It's just admiration, right? It's the end goal for me is not the sale. You know, my end goal is to build that network. You know, same way with Gail. I know Gail's here and even Sam's here. Like, we can cross paths. The world's not as big as we think it is. There might be things that I say today that strike a nerve. I'm open to it. Let's have a conversation. Let's figure out what needs to be done and what needs, you know, how we can get things done. So stop hunting for the sale and hunt for the relationship, because I think that's where it comes out. You know, like, I think Curt, I said it before. Every time you say you need to connect with someone, I'm like, damn it, Curt, stop spending my money. You know, and it's just, and you have, like, because you mention someone or you tell me to connect with someone. I do. We get on a phone call. There's a trial. There's, you know, things happen and conversations happen behind closed doors. It's like, this is exactly what I'm here for. Like, this is it.
All right.
I wrote it down.
Moment of silence.
I wrote it down.
All right. Savor it. Savor it. Don't hunt for the sale. Hunt for the relationship. Chris, we're going to get hunt for the relationship t-shirts. Are you kidding me? Man, that was so good, dude. And this is really powerful. Again, like my dear friend Val, you know, we kid around. She calls herself an introvert, and she's become super active with the Twitter group on Thursday. She joins us on Friday. She is just such an inspiration and taking a, you know, page out of your book on, you know, being that go-giver. Let's dig into Optessa. Let's take another step further. So we have Sam, ERP expert. We have Chris, e-commerce head, president of Gen Alpha. Some amazing folks here. Talk a little bit. What problem do I have? If I had hair, what I'd be ripping it out. What's happening right now where I need to call John and I need Optessa to save my day?
Yeah, I think it's a loaded question, but I'll do my best to kind of, you know, drill it down a little bit. So we really pride ourselves with manufacturers that are struggling with their production. They're struggling to either get deliveries or get product out the door in a timely fashion or with lower costs. We see customers that are just throwing bodies on lines or workstations to get things done because they think they have to meet these delivery dates, or things are, you know, there's just problems. You know, you hear a lot about supply chain resiliency, and they're like, well, if I get enough raw material in, if I put enough workers on, and I add more shifts and I do more, I'll get more. Right. You could, but at the same time, like, there's a smarter way to do these things. You know, we had Alex and I had a lot of calls over the last like 2 weeks with prospects, and there was a common thread throughout. And there was two. One was, let me show you my spreadsheet. And the other one was, well, we hired a whole bunch of people, but we still can't figure it out.
Right? Yeah.
And there's just something to it. And we like the spreadsheets. We like the whiteboards. We like the spreadsheets. And I think a lot of people, you know, on this today think that the larger companies have it all figured out. They don't. They absolutely don't. In fact, it's almost like a shocker. Like, I can't believe we're actually having this conversation. Like, you run your entire operation on a whiteboard? Really? The whole thing? And they're like, yeah. You want to see it? I'm like, no. I said, but we're going to have to at some point. You know, so I think there's a lot that people think they're doing a good job, and they are, but there's so much, there's such a smarter way to do things. And again, with Optessa, we have our box, right? We're not an ERP. We're not an MRP. We're not an MES. We're not. We are an advanced planning scheduling software that sits on top of, alongside all your existing systems to make it better. I'm not looking to become the new SAP. No, thank you. I'm not looking to replace Oracle. We're just here to make it all better and make you work better and smarter when you're looking at your production. And when we're looking at the different things that are happening, you know, I go back to, you know, we hired a whole bunch of people. It's not getting better. It's like, well, you're hiring a whole bunch of people, but you're not giving them the right things to do or telling them the right things to do or be in the right areas. It's a matter of, you can have 25 people, but they're only working off of 3 workstations. Why do you have 25 people on 3 workstations? That's not smart. You're wasting a whole lot of money. But we got the order out. That's fantastic. But you also spend how much money in HR? Another one we've had is, people are doing favors. Like, oh, my best customer called me up and they said, can you slot me in today? Can you get me these 100 widgets? And you're like, absolutely, no problem. And then your planner's going, wait, what'd you do? Wait, what happened now? I got the 100 widgets out. Yeah, but you delayed 50 other orders. And now it's going to take me a week to untangle this mess.
Right.
If you had our system, it would be minutes. You'd be able to figure out the long term. You can tell the customer, thank you, but we can't do it today. We'll do it tomorrow. No problem. Kind of thing. So,
right.
Yeah.
Okay. So tons of impact here, so I know you have a tagline: optimize planning and scheduling solutions to manufacturers so they can work smarter, and so like you just described, so who's your ideal target within the company that you're communicating with? Is that operational excellence folks, production managers? Talk a little bit about who's that ideal client that you're seeking.
Yeah, it's definitely the operations managers, the production teams. Usually we get in with the planner or scheduler that's experiencing the pain. Like, they just can't figure it out. They're the ones that are manning that spreadsheet or working off that whiteboard, and they're just like, I can't figure this out. I can't. There's nothing more I can do. Right. It's taken me a week, and then something didn't come from Europe, and now I got to go back and redo this, or I've missed 5 deliveries. I can't have this happen again. So we usually hit lower, and then it ultimately gets to the operations managers and those that are actually in charge of the production facility or rooftop, if you will. So that's who we're really targeting, and it's any manufacturer. I don't care the size. That's another misconception we get. Oh, we're not big enough for you. It's like, no, you probably are. Let's go over your operations. Right. And we've had that conversation a lot. And they're like, well, we have, 25 workstations, 3 clean rooms. We have 100 workers, And it's like, you guys are massive. Like, this is a massive organization. But they don't see it that way. They see it as, oh, we're not a Fortune 100. It doesn't matter to me. Right. My data doesn't, my software doesn't matter. It doesn't matter to the software. Right. Give me the complexity, give me your inputs, and let us give you the best possible output for you guys to do your thing.
That's awesome. So John, let's not change gears, but I want to talk about culture. The culture at Damon. Did you have something?
Well, I'm just like, if someone's ever tried scheduling complex, multi-supplier, global supply chain, multi-step manufacturing processes, man, there's just literally no way to mentally spreadsheet. I don't care what you got. It is not going to be easy. And, even on something as simple as when I was back in the aerospace age and we were making complex aerospace parts that has 27 processes on it, right? Yeah. And you got a long lead time coming from this, that, and each one, it's just like something that simple is crazy. So you roll that up into, I'm trying to create an automobile, or I'm trying to create a street sweeper or something like that. The spreadsheet and the whiteboard stuff, and it 100%, some of the biggest Fortune 50, 10, maybe even clients are doing it that way. And if you can get something that's a software solution, then it's going to do it way better than you can.
I heard a stat from Gartner that said 90% of global manufacturers utilize Excel for their production planning.
Yeah,
90%. And you know what? They all need to come talk to him. Not only my company, they just need to just figure out that there's a better way to do this.
Something. Yeah.
Right. Oh my God. So yeah, you have to connect with Chris Harrington from Gen Alpha. Chris, you and John will totally hit it off.
Yeah.
John, I want to plow in. So with all this, because you have a fascinating background from the founding of the company and the culture. And, earlier in your conversation, we talked about your previous gig, things changed, wasn't a good fit. And what we absolutely love and why we admire you so much is you're like, this is not a good fit for me personally, my family. And again, goes back to your high level of integrity. What was it about Optessa on that culture, integrity that just really sung to you, our good Seton Hall Catholic boy from New Jersey? What was it about Optessa that just pulled you in like, man, this is for me?
It's it's everything you mentioned. It's kind of like the polar opposite of my previous company. Like you don't find companies where literally they're in the company longer than I've been a professional, right? Like to say that the co-founders are still there, to say that the, people are celebrating 15, 18, 19 years in a company, that's something that's unprecedented, right? Like that's rare, so their company meetings that we have, it's always stated, like, we don't lose employees. Like, you stay with the company. There's very little turnover.
Right.
The whole goal is, like, if you have an issue, please come to us and talk to us about it. They understand. The level of empathy is through the roof. It's unbelievable. So when I say, like, oh, I take okay, whatever you need, no problem. You leave a little early, that's fine. Whatever. It's not an issue. So that's what's needed. Take COVID out of it. It's just how everyone should be operating. Like, raise the level of empathy and stick to your morals, stick to your guns. And I think you'll be better off for it.
Man, this is music to Gail's ears, right? You're hitting on those buzzwords, curiosity, integrity. We're talking, this is just awesome. And, obviously that empathy part, and you've done an amazing job again. So you bring in that empathy, whether, your leadership roles throughout your career, with your customers, with your networking ability. Again, let's go a little bit deeper there, on that empathy side. What instilled that? Who instilled that? Again, let's throw out a name: parents, coach, mentor, family member. Let's drop some more bombs on us for us today.
I don't know. It just, I've spoken about it, leading with empathy or empathetic leadership. And I think it's something that a lot of people strive for, but a lot of fail at. I think it's something that you can say you want to be a nice person, but at the end of the day, like, if you put the business before your people, you fail. I think I did a talk a little while back, and I said, if you're an employer or you're owner of a company, and if you don't know that your employees put you number 3 on their pecking order day after day, you're failing. You just know that. You are number 3 at best, and if you have a pet, they're number 4. Right? You're always going to prioritize yourself, your family, before your professional stuff. I mean, just think about anybody, in the day. Like, if something were to happen before this call, sorry guys, I wouldn't be on it. You just have to lead that way. You got to leave early, fine. You have a thing coming up, whatever. There's no reason to put that friction there, because that friction leads to people go, well, I can't get an appointment during the week because they're going to be, very upset with me. I got to do it on the weekend, and then they can't get it on the weekend. So, it just creates that unnecessary friction where you just go, sure, no problem. Just cut it right there and just be done with it. And that's how I led my teams. That's how I go about my day.
Right.
My empathy gets a little thin when I talk to my kids, but at the same time, like, it's there. But that's really it. And like I said, I have the leaders here that just same way, like, whatever you need, it's fine, because they know if you're satisfied, your output's going to be at its highest, and there's going to be no friction.
Yeah. I like Dan's comment here, because I'm with Dan. I'm number 8 in my house, behind the kids and the cats. And I know I'm way behind everybody else.
Yeah,
too.
exactly. Well, with, Dan, when you have 2 sets of twins, that's what happens.
Yeah.
So John, let's dig in. All right, let's get back to, we're going to dig into business now. That's that curiosity, networking, empathy. How, and you're extremely competitive, driven athlete, your kids are great athletes. Talk a little bit about, you say, I'm new to sales, I'm new to marketing. John, give me some tidbits. Help me be successful. What could drive my success from your background, from your experience with sales and marketing?
It's a long game. If you think you're going to get it done sooner than you think, like, you just can't. It's a long process. Multiple steps, multiple nurture points, multiple things have to happen. Plenty of things can happen in your favor just as much as plenty of things can happen to hurt you. Right. It's just, you've got to play the long game. There might be some quick wins in there, here and there, but ultimately, like, you're going to have to put a lot of work into maybe very little return, or you're going to have to wait a long time to get that return. In our company, the sales cycles are 6+ months. So we can't really celebrate a lead coming in now maybe next summer we're talking about a success, you know, and that's if everything goes well. And that's if it came in today and everything's working and nothing happens and things like that. So, I mean, from a marketing and sales standpoint, you know, myself and Alex, we're sitting right we don't have a formal sales team. You know, so I'm generating the leads, looking for the leads, and I'm also qualifying them with Alex, and he does a much better job than I do. And I've learned a lot from him, but we see it firsthand. Like, you have to put in a lot of work. You have to. Nothing's going to be handed to you. That's the other thing. Nothing's going to be handed to you.
Yeah.
Right. You know, the other piece, like doing things like this, like I can't sit there, you know, the curse of knowledge, like nobody knows. Who doesn't know about, does everyone know about advanced planning and scheduling? Probably not. I hope not. But if you do, I want to, you know, have another conversation with you. If you don't, happy to educate you on it. You know, you have to start somewhere in educating. You have to overgive to get the return in the end. And like I said, it's a long game. It's a very long game. Not only in my role, but others probably sitting, watching, and attending this. Like, it's a long game.
It's a long game. I absolutely love
the
that.
manufacturing game in general is long. I mean, because, you know, you're not looking to find 100 new clients in manufacturing. As Ray Zaganto says, you're trying to find a few, and that's probably plenty.
Right.
Yep. Yeah, that's what it is. Like when I'm vetting like new vendors or different partners, they're like, well, what's your lead volume? And I'm like, 10. And they're like, 10. Like, yeah. I was like, that's it. I was like, and I'm happy with the 10, you know?
Yeah.
And they're like, but what do you, I'm like, that's all we need. I was like, that's all we need. I was like, because that's going to take us about 3 to 6 months to actually work these leads and get this going. They're like, you don't have hundreds and thousands? I was like, no. I was like, we don't, nor do we want that. You know, like that's not the nature of the beast. You know, when we, you know, Curt, going back to the company and the culture, like we take a lead and we take a contact that enters in a conversation with us, and we're ready to have 2 months worth of conversations before we even get to any kind of contract or any kind of pitch. You know, we have to understand everything. You know, we're talking 2, 3, 4 demos and variations and proof of concepts and data sharing and NDAs. How many more acronyms can I throw at you? You know, just there's just so much that goes into these, you know, and it's just like 10, I'm good. You know, 1,000, okay, maybe I would take 1,000, but at the same time, there's just not enough time to do all this stuff. I mean, there's just such a convoluted cycle, and things happen, and everything has to work together, and you know, it's just everything needs to work together.
Yeah, sure. And if one comes to mind, whether, you know, previous life, previous career, or now since Optessa, share like a success story. And again, you know, we love your humility, and, you know, probably not even, you know, I'm sure, you know, you're such a humble dude, you know, not even so much like your success, but, you know, like you, Dan Bigger, you know, it's the thing that we preach here constantly is trying to drive success to our customers, our clients, our loved ones, right? Talk a little bit like what's a success that's happened to you since starting up Upessa, and then if you have another one in your previous career, share like what's been a home run that you'd love to share with us.
I think it's just in my current role and previous roles, just joining an organization that didn't have a formal marketing department and just building it from the ground up, and just starting at the bottom, just getting it to a well-oiled machine, or a machine that's actually functioning.
Right.
You know, from Optessa, when I joined, my first order of business was to get a new website. The website was at least 5 years old, and myself and team, we rolled the new website out in 100 days, and it helped us. We hit all milestones, you know, all the vanity metrics, whatever, that's fine.
Right.
But actually getting a website rolled out. Now, I joined in February 2020. It was a month, and then everyone went home, literally
3 weeks.
So I think I was in like the 5th week. I was sitting in the conference room, and it's like, okay, team meeting. And it's just like, okay, we're going to take 2 weeks off. And it's like, that was the end of that. So to get a website done with being the new guy, the first foray into marketing after so many years, that was huge. That was a huge accomplishment for myself and the team. We just rolled out a new one, you know, because, you know, Google and everything else changes their mind as much as I, you know, changed my pants here, you know, so it's just, you have to celebrate those like little wins. Like each day there's got to be something. You know, we had an excellent demo the other day. Like that's a huge accomplishment. Nice. You know, the user conference was another huge one. That was like 10 months of everyone in the company working at it, every single person. And we hit a tremendous tremendous bump where one of our directors of business development actually passed away suddenly in the midst of all of it.
Wow.
And he was, and we spoke about it. Our CTO spoke about it in one of his sessions, and it was like the beginning of October or middle October. And that was it. And I was just like, oh, okay, what do we do now, guys? Like, he was the brains behind the software. He was architecting so much. He had 2 sessions in the user conference. Now what do we do? So it really crippled us at first, but everyone had to just go all in on it. But those are the things where, through the darkest times, like everyone just kind of rallied together and we got it done. There was a lot of late meetings and there was a lot of long meetings to kind of understand what the impacts are. But those are the things you guys don't see. And those are the things, when people say like, oh, you're not around. It's like, I got a couple things going on. Don't worry. And we had to deal with that, so that's another huge win to get that user conference done and to have our customers show up, have our customers attend, enforce. And now we're swimming in content, which is great. And, great case studies and stories, but there's so much that happens in and out of the office that you can't prepare for it.
Right. Yeah. Well, and I think this is as I was sitting here listening to you talk, I was thinking about it. It's so easy for people to look at the end and go, oh man, it must be nice. Those words when those words come out, you just want to and you want to just make that person be quiet because what they don't realize is how much work that was put in to make it like it is today, right? Whether it's building a business, whether it's putting on a conference like this or anything. And I think you're to show the example of you went through a super, super tough time right there. Right. Somebody key to what you're doing. First of all, the emotional part of it, but then to have to pick that up and replace what they're doing in something like a users conference in the matter of a couple of weeks. That's a huge undertaking.
Yeah. Yeah. It was nuts, and then the funniest thing was, we ordered items ahead of the conference. We were shipping to our customers and it was like, I think it was sitting in like May and I was talking to one of the vendors and she's like, you need to order these like now. And I'm like, why? Why are we doing this? She goes, there's a lot of problems. And then we're sitting there and we literally couldn't get lids. It was like, where are the lids? And then it was like, those boats sitting off of Long Beach. And I'm like, don't even. Like, I was like, don't even. Don't even say it. And she's like, yeah, they're kind of sitting out there somewhere. I'm like, oh, that's great. But that's, a story for a different day. But there's, like I said, there's so much that was in the way, and that's what I said, like 10 months, like the conversation happened around February, like my year mark. It's like, we're going to have a user conference this year. I'm like, oh, great. I can't wait, and then, it happened, last week and it's been fantastic, but it's so much happened over those 10 months.
Right.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
We do have a question from Christian Wank here. He asked, is the sales team looking at the Optessa dashboard? I don't know if that's too specific and different in other clients, but he was wondering if the sales team is looking at the Optessa dashboard when they're.
That's a great question.
Yeah, it is. It is really.
Yeah, because everybody's involved, right? It impacts everybody.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Everyone's all in, right? Like everyone's looking, and a cheerleader. Everyone is working towards the same goal. So yeah, the Optessa dashboard and the dashboards, like absolutely, like everyone's trying to make the software better. Everyone's trying to land the next customer, and also trying to nurture the existing relationships that we do have. We're all in. Like I said, we're a smaller company, but we operate big. And it's fantastic.
Awesome.
Punch above your weight, man. So, John, I know we could chat all day, dude. We're coming into time. I'm going to give everybody a chance to chat with you at the tables. I've dropped John's LinkedIn profile. And, John, you have some swag, I understand. Is that correct? We have a little link in the chat box for everybody to click that link.
Absolutely. Yeah. So, I was coming off of the user conference. We did get some swag in. So, I worked with Curt and Damon to kind of make the offer. So it's a simple landing page, but, it basically shoots an email to me and we'll coordinate delivery of some Optessa items for everyone in attendance. It doesn't matter where you are. A couple of you have already taken advantage of it. But yeah, absolutely happy to do it and share it. So yeah, click the link and be happy to send you guys all the swag.
Awesome. Awesome. So, John, we're going to wind down. Any parting thoughts, any last words, any words of wisdom that you want to share with our folks to take into the weekend?
Yeah, I think it's just like you mentioned earlier, be intentional with your networking. Don't hunt for the sale, hunt for the relationship. You have to. It's everything's built on relationships. And the other thing is like, be engaging where you are. Like I said, I've taken a little bit of time away from the Twitter chat and other things like that, but now I'm back in full force. So looking forward to continuing the conversations and the connections. And yeah, I'm easily found on LinkedIn. I know you dropped it here, but like Gail, you'll find me on Twitter as well. So yeah, happy to connect and let's have that conversation.
Absolutely, guys. Well, John, dude, God bless you. Thank you. You're such a gift. You're a joy to be friends with. Thank you for all the passion, energy, the excitement that you bring to us. Everybody on Thursdays with Twitter, what you do, our support here, Damon and I, again, we can't thank you enough.
Yeah.
So guys, thank each and every one of you for joining us today. We wish you an amazing, incredible weekend. Damon, we have an awesome interview on Monday with Hal. He's a Toyota Kata guru.
Yeah.
Can't wait for Monday.
That's
so guys, go. And then, are you guys sitting down for this? Is everybody sitting down for this? You know what's on next Friday? Jeff Long. And he has a thing that's called video value bombs.
Yeah.
Video value bombs and how you can have explosive growth with your business by detonating video value bombs. You don't want to miss that next Friday. So
yeah,
guys, thank you. Have an awesome weekend, and we will see you guys Monday. Damon, take it away, brother.
All right, Curt. Thanks, John. It was awesome.
Thank you.
Awesome talking to you. Great times. And I want to thank everyone on Twitter. We got Margot, Janine, Gary, Alex, David, dropping stuff out there.
Hey, Margot.
Thanks so much. Love it that you guys are interacting over there. And if you're on LinkedIn and you want to join us on Remo, hey, just check out Curt and I's posts every week. We got the Remo link there. It stays the same. Save it in your browser. It's a rebrandly link, so you can drop right in every week. We're going to go off the LinkedIn Live. Yep, got the Bromance shirts on this week. We're rolling. So we're going to drop off LinkedIn Live, go back to Remo and Table so people can talk with John. Have a good one.
Peace.
All right, here we go.